What's up, guys? I just got off the top four. So this is just a quick little thing talking about my video for how the regional went. So the regional was this Saturday. We had 80 players. It was fun. I got top four. I got beat by my teammate, Robert DaCosta. And as a result, I did not get to play in the finals, which sucked. But it was still a good time. There was no top cut, which was really a disappointment. I guess telling them I luckily only flew in like Friday night at midnight and then out Friday, like Saturday morning. So it was only a day of my life, but I don't think I would play in events if I knew there was no top cut. So just because that's like the exciting part for me. But yeah, this is the deck. I'll talk about what I would change and what worked and what didn't work. So this is the main deck. I ran it like this. Pretty much similar to what I had for the last regional that I won. And at, what was it, 7 rounds? So 6-1. It still did really well, right? This is a solid list. Some two changes I would make going into the tournament is change one. I added Bulma. So Bulma is an amazing promo I didn't even know about. I went to a locals and then the guys were like, "Oh, it's been errated." So this card now is that you can discard it and you search your deck for the two cards. That's a big deal because now we have two less cards on the deck and your consistency goes up, right? We have more likelihood of drawing all four super combos, and then just having your other pieces get drawn naturally. Now you got to figure that's two cards out of like let's say 44 that you would have normally, or 42 because you have your life, right? So 42 you draw, you go down to 42, you go down to 36 cards. So you figure if it's turn one, you're really at 35 cards because you have Hyperbolic Time Chamber in hand. You go down to 33 cards left in your deck on turn one. That's pretty cool because, like I said, those consistencies are going to go up. I main boarded Hunt of the Demon God, and I had Kaioken main. Both of these cards are terrible now. I'd say these are your two cuts, and we're going to talk about what you cut for them. So in the Z deck, you'll see we had Meteor Destruction. This card was amazing because especially if you go first, this deck makes 2 Z energy on turn 2. And the perfect play is, of course, to drop this guy and then also drop one of these. So you're tapped out on turn 2, but you've used all your Z energy and then you're at like 6 life. You're in a great position. If you cut this card and you bring in it's a King Cold Negate, because you have two field spells, it only costs one. That is a nice, just straight improvement in the deck. So you have a physical counter for your turn 3 or turn 4 plays. I would have beat Gogeta very easily just having access to King Cold because I had like 3 mana open and it would have just been enough to like slow him down enough. And then this card right here would be the other change is I probably would just put Koetsukai main. So in the current format, everybody has floodgates to the point now that even Green Gohan is playing floodgates, as you saw from the list. So Koetsukai is a great card to have, and I always brought in Koetsukai. So we start looking at it, very relevant, very huge. And besides that, I would run this list exactly as is. You could make an argument that it's time for a different SER. Cell Max is in a beautiful spot right now because it's very frequently happening where your opponent will tap an energy and be at 4 life going into turn 4. So to have that option of just being like, hey, I'm going to pay 1. Let's see if you have another negate. And if they don't have another negate, to be able to just go all in is just so relevant right now. And it was very, very relevant. And then also just the fact that at that point, you also can get your opponent to 1, and then they can't board wipe you. So that's another big deal because Cell Max kind of has that prevention. So it's just a cool utility card. I like it, and it's something to consider. It was recommended by the Australian champion of the last regional, and I agree with him. So that being said, everything else is just so solid. I love having access to Secret Identity, and ironically, I casted it 0 times in the tournament because he never mattered. Because I just killed my opponent on 3 or 4 so easily. We're getting to this point now where a deck like this is so powerful, and if you don't keep up on energy to deal with this Gohan on my turn 4, this will kill you. And frequently I was keeping my Awaken, and Haru Haru I was bringing in because people still aren't ready for it. And so I could Awaken, have all my energy after playing the card. It was just so much assault. I really like trying to have access to Majin Buu. If you go first, this card is amazing because frequently your opponent will stabilize on turn 4 and leave up energy. So it's really nice just to be like, you know what, hey, I can't kill you. Let's go ahead and just wipe the board, start over fresh. And then because you're a 20k leader, most decks can't stop you. Besides that, I think it's just a solid list, and this is still what I'd like to play for Nationals. I think that's the big takeaway from this video is this is my current top runner if I were to go to Nats without seeing, obviously, all of the next set. I'm going to try Anniversary. My next deck will be Anniversary for the next regional. I will not be playing Green Gohan. Whether I play Cooler or if I play Mechibora or any of the other decks, I don't know yet. I would really like to play a yellow deck. Yellow, in my opinion, is the strongest color right now that no one's utilizing as food decks become popular. But man, I don't play enough anymore. Like we're getting into Nat season, and I got to start investing a lot more time. So you might see some more videos coming up in the future, and that's just because it's about time. Start doing some content. So I'll take another top 4. Top 3 would have been better because that includes a serial card. But hey, I made a fair amount of money off of what I had, so I can't complain at all, right? If you make money in a hobby, like you're winning at life for what you like to do. One thing to keep in mind though is some people were running the Brohan list. They were running Demigraw Unison, and that kind of became a little bit of a problem because their Frieza was always live. So it kind of turned off some of our utility. So more barrier could be relevant for this deck. What's nice is some of the cards don't matter. Like you have this Goku with barrier. It really just kind of sucks for turn 1, right? So if turn 1, your Vegeta Arrogance gets a lot less exciting if you go second and then they Mysterious Warrior. So just keep that in mind. I don't know how to deal with that. I'm sure there's a few cards we could do, but it's definitely some bad utility when you're running into it. But that's it. Later, guys.